We're here at the ITU in Geneva, and I'm very pleased to be joined by youm, Chairman of Study Group 17. Welcome, and thank you very much indeed for joining us here today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your chairmanship. And could you please provide our viewers with an overview of the work that's taking place in Study Group 17?
Thank you. Study Group 17 is responsible for building trust and security in the use of ICT. So we currently have three lead study group roles. First one is lead study group on security, and second one is lead study group on identity management, and third one is lead study group on telecommunication language. So in the past, we had 12 questions, starting from question 1 and question 12. But at this meeting, is the first meeting in the study period, Study Group 17 agreed to establish a new question that is question 13. So we became 13 questions. So actually, let me briefly introduce each questions. For example, question 1 is responsible for coordination activities within the ITUT and within the Study Group 17 and across the other groups. For example, ITU D and ITU-R and other, for example, ST27, ISO-IEC ST27. So we have that is a roles of the question 1. And then question 2 is responsible for security framework. So actually they developed a very famous recommendation that is Exit 805. So define some basic security requirements for the network security. So that is second one. And third one is question 3, telecommunication information management systems. Actually, this group has a good relationship with ISO-IEC JTC1 SC27 Working Group 1. So they have some common work. So still have a common work with ISO-IEC JTC1 SC27 Working Group 1 and Working Group 5. And question 4, very important question. As you may know, we have a WTSA resolution 50. Title is cybersecurity. So question 4 is same title. So question 4 is cybersecurity. So it's responsible for cybersecurity issues. For example, cybersecurity information is exchange between the computer emergency response teams. We believe that the question rules is very important. As you may know, we have another resolution that is a WTSA 52. That is a countering and combating spams. So question 4 is responsible for WTSA 16 resolution for 52. So title of that question 5 is countering spam by technical means, because Study Group 17 is mandate is to develop a technical recommendation that not touching a policy and the regulation issues. So title has been a little bit different, but that is the main role. I would like to introduce question 6. It's very important. Normally in the past, question 6 is responsible for developing IoT security, home network security, and mobile security, for example, 5G security, and the smart grid security. And then, so at this meeting, they will say some, and including ITS security, intelligence transport system securities. At this meeting, they will say contribution. So new question has been established, agreed at this meeting. So currently, our roles of the question 6 is focusing on the IoT security, because you know IoT security is everywhere. So IoT security is one of our main priority in this period. And question 6 is a application layer security. So, and then question 8 is, you may know, cloud computing securities. So it's responsible for cloud computing security. In the past study period, from study of 2013 to 2016, they developed a very high level framework recommendations. And then question 9, telebiometrics. You may know we authenticated by the smartphone. We use our biometric information for users to be authenticated by the entity. So we recognize the importance of the use of the biometrics mechanisms for authentications of users. And the question 10 has a very important roles. As I said, study group 17 has a 3 roles. Lead study group. One of them is a lead study group on identity management. So question 10 is responsible for that roles. So question 10 has produced a recommendation extra 1254. It's very important recommendations because they provides a entity authentication assurance framework that provides a 4 levels of assurance framework. And question 11 is basic fundamental technology to support a security works. So they define a OID works, object identifier works, and ASN1 works, abstract syntax notation, and other related work. And question 11, actually, I would like to focus emphasis because question 11 has produced a very famous and well recognized recommendation. That is a exact 509. Is PKI. Public infrastructure. So you may know PKI can be used as a basic and fundamental technology for every transactions, electronic transactions, and also we looking forward to the technology can be used to other areas, for example, smart grid securities. And question 12 is a little bit far from the security works. Actually, they are working on telecommunication languages. So actually, they have a working on telecommunication language plus testing in cooperation with study group 11 because study group 11 is responsible for testing. So.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen that privacy is a key issue in today's ICT ecosystem. But privacy, it's also a policy discussion as well as a technical discussion. Can you please explain how your study group is approaching privacy in your work?
Yes, we recognize privacy is very important topic, and then privacy can be used to build a trust between organization. Actually, good news is we had a common text with ISO ICT-1 H27 Working Group 5 because Working Group 5 is working on privacy and identity management. Actually, this study group 17 meeting approved common text that is a extra 1058 code of practice for PII protection, personally identifiable protection. So that is a common text between ITUT study group 17 and ISO IC JTC1 H27 Working Group 5. Actually, Working Group 5 is finished FDI pilot. So next Hamilton meeting, so Working Group 5, we may produce a international standard. That means that, so we have one very good, very important recommendation produced by both groups. So in the past, in study group 17 context, privacy is very important. It recognized as important topic, and then security technology can be used to protect privacy. So that was our agreement. So we do not use personal data because you say that you say that privacy is related to the regulation and the privacy policy issues. So according to our Report resolution 130, so maybe there's some different interpretation, but our study group 17 consensus was that we do not touch some policy issues or regulation issues, but we will develop a recommendation to support policy issues and then regulation issues. So I think that we actually question 10. As I said, question 10 is responsible for identity management. In the question 10 text, they have task items regarding the privacy, PII protection issues. So, and then question 3 has question 3 text also have a task, question task mentioning about PII protection. So I think that we continue to explore possibility to deal with the privacy and PII protection issues.
And looking to the future, well, what are some of the key security threats on the horizon, and how might our standardization work help to mitigate those risks?
Yes, actually, when we use the ICT technology, and for example, new emerging area. So emerging, we actually at the last study group 17, I believe that March 2016 study group 17 meeting agreed to we identify some emerging area. For example, IMT 2020, so-called fifth generation, and we identify we agree emerging area is smart grid and IoT, and also digital financial services and ITS. So we study group 17 agreed to continue to provide a technical recommendations to mitigate new threats in the new emerging area. As I said, ITS security, ITS intelligent transport systems, and Internet of Things environments, and also digital financial service environment using mobile devices. So I believe that general consensus of study 17 is to continue to work on that areas, especially for new emerging areas.
Okay, Hong-Yul, I'd like to thank you very much indeed for your time today and wish you a successful study group period.
Yes, thank you.